Yes, yeah, and it happens to be the Hilula of a great rabbi of Turkish heritage here on Yud Zayin Av, Menachem Av, as we call it in Hebrew. Korkidi Z'tl, one of the great rabbis of Turkey, 19th century. He was actually born in English year 1813 and passed away in the year 1885, to be precise, on English date the 29th of July, which obviously happens to be the 17th of Av. He was a great rabbi. He was a Darshan. He was a Shochet also. He was one of the great rabbis of Izmir, respectively. Also in Addasi, and in Birgama. These were different places. He was very well traveled all over Turkey, and he would write many different great Torah colossal works, including the Vayikach Avraham. So now let's explore the history of the great rabbi. As we said before, he was born in the year 1813. He came from great rabbinic heritage. His father was Rabbi David, and his mother was Rabbanit Joya, if I'm not mistaken. And he was destined to become a great rabbi at one stage in time, even from his youth. The family were not wealthy, but however, they pushed themselves in order to give him the best potential Torah education possible. And in fact, one of his teachers, I believe his rabbi, was the famous Rabbi Chaim Pelagi, who we've spoken about before, arguably one of the greatest Turkish rabbis in Jewish history. Sadly, there was troubleships. At the age of 18, I think there was the cholera plague did break out, I think, in Turkey, and I believe his parents had passed away from that. This was around approximately the year 1831. He learned in yeshiva called Bet Yaakov, and he actually learned, along with also the greatness of Avraham Pelagi, Rabbi Avraham Pelagi, who happens to be the son of Rabbi Chaim Pelagi, also where they were learning very much to a great level with various different Hiddushim. However, there was more troubleships, I think, in Turkey in its own right. A fire broke out, I believe, in Izmir. I think, actually, in the Hebrew date, the Yud Aleph, Adar, Tafresh Aleph, and many of the houses of the Jewish people did burn down. And Yeshivat Beit Yaakov also did. I think there was a big library full of books also did. So many of the people over there, the great Rabbanim, also did leave the area. And I think Rabbi Avraham himself and with his brother, they moved to another city, and I believe to a Kehila in Etziraya, if I'm not mistaken, I think, which is actually close to Izmir of itself, respectively. Over there, he would work in the Shechita industry also. He would become a Shliach Tzibor also there, and was very much a huge part of the congregation of Addasi, that specific area. So also, and I believe at later stage, after he spent a significant time period also, he then moved to an area called Wbiregama, and I believe that was a great kehila over there where he will continue to work as a darshan, as a rabbi over there, also as a shochet, I believe for a 30-year tenure, if I'm not mistaken, a very long time period. And I believe towards the end of his life, he moved and made aliyah to the land of Israel eventually. He would eventually move there at that point in time. I think at the time it was the Imperiate, it was the Ottoman Empire at that stage in time, under, if I'm not mistaken, also under that. But he moved, I think he was buried actually in Yaffo at the end, because he moved there naturally, and he passed away on the 29th of July in the 1885. He was approximately 72 years of age at that point in time. And I believe actually his wife's name was Rabbanit Sultana. I think she passed away in the year 1905, if I'm not mistaken, which would have been significantly later time. Okay, now let's explore the history of the great rabbi himself. His older brother was also a great rabbi, Rabbi Moshe Korkidi, also, who actually was the author of the great Torah book called the Moshe Avad, if I'm not mistaken. Also, he also himself got, I believe, married to Sultana, Rabbanit Sultana, also happened to be the daughter of the Bet Din over there, who happened to be Rabbi Chaim Moshe Morino HaKohen, if I'm not mistaken, who himself was the author of the great the Pnei Chama, and that's very interesting itself. So he was married to Rabbanit Sultana, and Rabbi Avraham had 4 boys, including Rabbi Chaim Moshe, who I believe was born actually in the Hebrew year Tafresh Gimel. He actually established a factory, if I'm not mistaken, in the area of Wbiרגאמה also, and was head of the Kehillah, the congregation over there. And I believe he did a lot of great Torah-related things inside this specific city itself. He donated Sifrei Torah, if I'm not mistaken, very much did a lot of different events over there. Rabbi Moshe did, and was really a great rabbi over there. Also, if I'm not mistaken, another one of his descendants was David Korkidi also, and Rabbi Yosef Korkidi also. Then there was Nisim Gershon, who actually I think was born in Wbiרגאמה. Also, he became a great tradesman. He would become a chazan, and was a great rabbi of the tzibur in of itself. And actually moved to Israel and learned, if I'm not mistaken, in Jerusalem next to Rabbi Chizkiah Shabtai, who we've mentioned about before, and very much was part of the great rabbanim in the area of Yafo, respectively. Also, I think he also had a son himself, Rabbi Dr. Nahum Korkidi, who was a great doctor also, who maybe we should speak about at a later stage, if possible, also, who was, I think was born at that stage in time, was already the 1900s at that point in time, was one of the doctors of Israel, of Jerusalem specifically, and he was living in the Neve Tzedek area. But now, let's explore some of the great Torah works which he wrote. We spoke about the Vayikach Avraham at the beginning of the class. This was printed in Izmir in the year Tafresh Mem Bet, which was a great book. Also, I think it was set up into 3 different halakim. The first one, I think, was in Izmir, the second one in Jerusalem, and there was also a third chelik. The first part was made drashot within regards to Shabbat HaGadol, Shabbat Shuvah, Hespedim, and drashot within regards to Nisuim, and Shabbat Halbasha also. These were different categories we spoke about in different other videos also. The second one is Liikutim, Al Derech HaGadah, Al Seder HaTorah, with regards to the order of the Seder of the Torah, and the Likutei Chidushim, which was based, I believe, on the Rambam, also, which was a great writing also. Also, there was, I think the book itself had a great haskama from the famous Rabbi Avraham Korkidi, who we've spoken before, who was learning with him in his younger years also, and received various different brachot from many great rabbis in Israel. Then I think there was another book called the Et Sofer, which was, I think it was within regards to the languages, within regards to document, shtarot as we call it, and different types of documents within regards to trade, nisuim, within regards to marriage and gittin, divorce, God forbid, and the topic of chalitza in of itself. But it's his hilula over here on Yud Zayin Ab. Now we've spoken about 30 or plus great rabbonim from Turkey. This happens to be Talmid Rabbi Chaim Pelagi, one of the great shochets from Turkish history. Also, I believe he also wrote the colossal Torah work called as we stated before, the book called the Vayikach Avraham. His wife's name was Astrola, if I'm not mistaken, also Rabbanit Astrola. I think I got mixed up before. I think his brother was married to Rabbanit Sultana. Rabbi Avraham Korkidi himself got married to Rabbanit Astrola. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. And they left many great descendants also. Passed away, and I believe he was buried in Yafo itself, respectively. Please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory here on Yud Zayin Ab. Please watch over the previous videos we covered more than 300 great rabbis, and subscribe to the channel and share. Take care.